my name is Maddie, and I'm going
to have a baby.
And I just want to say, in every single beginner YouTube, tutorial isn't the right word, but tips and tricks, they always tell you, do not apologize for the thing I'm about to apologize for because no one cares. But you know what? I care. I do. I want to apologize for the lighting in here real quick. This room, which used to be a guest bedroom and my filming room, which makes me sound very fancy. I'm not fancy. It was just a guest room and a convenient place for me to film, is being taken over by baby stuff. And so there's baby stuff galore in here. It's very messy. It's much more messy than it used to be, but we are going to start clearing things out, setting things up. Very exciting. It may be a vlog. It may be a video. It may not. I don't know. But we are prepping for baby. Sorry it's been so pregnancy heavy around here lately, but it's definitely taking over my life, of course. So with that housekeeping out of the way, I also have another bit of housekeeping, which is that I actually have a gap in next week's schedule. I'm not sure what I'm going to post. I know the week after that, and I think the week after that too. There's a damn cat hair in here. But I don't know next week's video, so I thought I would ask you guys for some help. I typically don't like doing back-to-back talking videos, but unfortunately I am busy next week, so that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Oh, I miss crumble. Regardless, and I miss cookies. Regardless, next week's video, I had 2 ideas. Number 1 would be not a sit-down talking video, but it would be me making some freezer meals for when I am freshly postpartum. Number 2 would be something that does not fit at all with my channel, but this channel is called Maddie Does What She Wants. It has been on my radar for a while. I have tried to write up scripting and things for it before because for certain videos, I like to have my thoughts more well-formed. And it is basically talking about, currently the running idea is the fat acceptance community versus the reaction community and how the two feed into each other. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I understand because probably about, a year and a half ago, I wouldn't have known either, but I've gotten sucked in and just talking about how reaction commentators are kind of fueling maybe the fat acceptance community. I don't know, very niche. And if you have a third, you want to bubble in C for other and write in your third idea, feel free to do that. I don't do that very often on my channel where I just flat out be like, what do you guys want to see? But yeah, your girl made a mistake in scheduling and messed up. I do want to do some a Grow with Joe workout pregnancy video. And someone let me know that Sydney Cummings put out a pregnancy video, but she only has one. So I'm hoping maybe she'll come out with a couple more at some point, and I might do that. But that will be later on down the line. I also don't know how you guys feel about workout videos, considering there's no before and after. There's no me stepping on the scale, but we shall see. Regardless, I would like to get into the video. So let's get into it. I don't see a ton of videos about people talking about second trimester. To be fair, I'm sure it's out there, but I just don't often see it. I see a lot of first trimester, how I knew I was pregnant, things like that, but I just don't see a ton of second trimester videos. And so I just kind of wanted to talk about some of the symptoms, my experience so far. Overall, my experience of pregnancy, I'm deeply humbled. I have had very good karma. Now, as you guys may know, and this is really more of a third trimester symptom because it kicked off third trimester, I do have gestational diabetes. But other than that, it has been a remarkably easy, knock on wood, pregnancy. I do have a feeling the worst is yet to come, as I will be heavily pregnant in the summer in Missouri. But it could be worse. I could be heavily pregnant in the deep south in the summer. So there is that. But second trimester has a lot of symptoms and things. And probably my favorite symptom and the one people look forward to the most is feeling the little baby move. And I swear, I Googled a million times, when will I feel my baby move? When will I feel him move? When is it going to happen? And it could be between 16 to 24 weeks. Some people swear they felt it sooner, some people later. I do low-key think that part of the reason it took me a little bit was because I do have adenomyosis, which is that the inner lining of my uterus is extra thick. And I do wonder if that contributed to me feeling it less. The other thing was I kept being told, it's going to feel like little flutters. And I'm like, that was not my experience of the baby moving. And actually, one day I had an epiphany. I was sitting at my desk and I was like, ugh, I guess I have some gas. But I wasn't like flatulent. I'm sorry if that's TMI, but that's just been a common pregnancy symptom of mine. I was not flatulent, but I felt gas bubbles. It was more like gas feelings. But then I realized that I'd been feeling those for a few days, but it was never accompanied with gas. So I Googled, much like that meme, is this a pregnancy symptom? The guy with the butterfly. That was what I Googled. I was like, does it feel like gas? And sure enough, other people have had the experience that I have. And that started for me at about 19 weeks, which was nice. It felt like a long wait, but I was happy about it. And at 22 to 23 weeks, Henry was actually able to feel him move. For a while there, I could feel him moving internally, but if I put my hands, I couldn't really feel it. But Henry was able to feel him move. I remember specifically his mother had to have an emergency surgery. So the whole family was in St. Louis. His mother's doing better now. So thank God for that. But, it was a little bit scary. But we were in the hotel room after everything had settled. And we were sitting in the bed and he had his hand on my stomach and he could feel a little bit of movement here and there. So that's always an amazing feeling. Henry really likes it. I like it. It's fun. As I've now in third trimester, he is definitely much more active. Henry had his head on my belly earlier and he was kicking Henry's head while Henry was talking to him. So pretty darn cute, pretty nice. It's the best. I think a lot of people feel that way. And shockingly for me, at least for me personally, at 25 weeks, I actually did manage to spot some movement on my belly. I always thought, although I'm wrong clearly, but I always thought that that would actually be a later pregnancy thing, like deep into third trimester where you finally see some movement. I did get a video of it. Nobody judged my hairy stomach or the fact that I looked a little homeless. I was just lounging on my couch and realized I could see something, so I filmed it. And the last thing I want to say about his movement really quickly, and I'm very sorry if I've been prattling on about this, but it's the most fun symptom, which is that we had actually gone to an orchestra. It was a Studio Ghibli orchestra, and if you say Ghibli different than I do, let's just move on, shall we? Regardless, it was an orchestra playing that music, and so it was kind of loud. Not too loud, but it was loud for people to hear, and I swear that baby could hear it. I don't know how well their hearing is. I know they can hear when people are right up against them, but he moved the whole time. I guess he was jiving with the music. I'm not really sure, but he really enjoyed that. So that was a fun experience listening to the orchestra, Henry's hand on my belly, just jiving with some Studio Ghibli. So I will talk about symptoms, but some of the stuff that happened during second trimester wasn't a symptom. The other thing is at 20 weeks, I got a pregnancy pillow. Shout out to my coworker who literally does not watch this channel, but she doesn't know about it. But I asked another coworker in a group chat, like, hey, what kind of pregnancy pillow did you get? I need to get one soon. And another coworker who was in the group chat was like, what's your address? I'll send you one now. And so she sent me one. It's a pregnancy pillow. I think it was like $30. If I find it where it was, I will link it down below. So I don't know if you guys know this or experience this, but it's actually a common stereotype that men hate pregnancy pillows. Me and Henry have a queen size bed. And I mean, we're both not like small people. And so it's always like the men hate the pregnancy pillows. But you know what? I hate the pregnancy pillow. I hate it. And it sounds dramatic, and it is a little, but I just miss being next to Henry. Henry and I can be a bit of cuddly sleepers. Not always, we're grown, but we were cuddly sleepers. And Henry would always say that my body felt nice and cool, and I always feel like Henry's nice and warm. And I just miss being able to cuddle with him. And it just sucks because we're probably not going to get that much of that whenever I'm freshly postpartum either, because we're going to be taking shifts and sleeping in different rooms, and whoever's on baby duty will be sleeping there. Okay, I'm going to calm down now. Regardless, that was something else, was just, I know men hate the pregnancy pillow. Henry's been very supportive. I know people are shocked that Henry's so supportive. Not shocked at all, really. But yeah, I don't like the damn pregnancy pillow. But it does stop me from rolling onto my back, which I desperately want to do sometimes. So yeah. Actually, I don't want to get too far into this because this is definitely a third trimester symptom, but my hips are starting to hurt from having to only lay on my sides. and I'm constantly, it's definitely starting to affect my sleep. Very common for third trimester, but literally, if I look tired in this video, it's because I took a nap before this, sitting up in the chair. Henry got a really unflattering picture of me and sleeping with the cats in the chair because I was like, I want to take a nap, but my hips are hurting from laying on them. So if anyone has any tips for how to help with that, please let me know. But additionally to everything I just talked about, one of the other fun second trimester things is actually getting an ultrasound where your baby is a baby. So they do the 20-week scan. I got mine at 22 weeks, and I want to say I actually filmed some stuff for that, so take it away past, Maddie. It was my big 20-week scan today, although I'm almost 22 weeks at this point. We came out of it. Everything looks good. Baby looks good. We weren't allowed to video in there. There was a sign, although I was tempted to anyway because the woman was very distracted because he was not cooperating. He had his legs nice and crossed, but he also at one point apparently had his arms over his face, like, don't take pictures of me.
Yeah, he's got his mom's stubbornness.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't care for the pictures either. But he's got his daddy's big old head, though.
Sorry, that's gonna be your problem.
No. They didn't say anything. She was having trouble getting a picture of the left side of his heart, but she was like, everything looks good. And if you've never had a baby, they take 1,000,000 pictures. In fact, I thought it was going to be a lovely Zen experience, and I felt like she was trying to probe me with that damn ultrasound thing. But like, she was in there at one point, like. At one point, like, it kind of almost tickled because she was near, like, my pelvis area, and I was trying not to laugh. But other than that, everything went really well. Yeah, I feel good. At one point, he moved, and she mentioned he moved, and I did feel it. So, how are you?
I'm good. That was just kind of the coolest thing I've ever seen. Just get to kind of see him like that.
We're pathetic.
Are we?
We're both. I'm a little misty-eyed.
Well,
so.
like I said, it's our first one, so it's very new, very cool, and so we're just been working toward this for a while, and I mean, the excitement's there.
Yeah. No, I'm just glad. Because, I mean, we haven't seen him since 8 weeks. You know, that's a long way to wait.
Yeah.
So, but you feel good?
Oh, yeah, I feel great.
I will put some pictures up. I just don't want to show them now on camera because they obviously have my medical information. So, but I also have a 3D scan in a few weeks that's free. The local university is basically training their future stenographers. My brain's like stenographers. It's like, no, this is not a courtroom, matey.
Stenographers, I believe, yes.
Training them, and so I will get a free 3D ultrasound because homeboy didn't want to cooperate. We got a couple profiles. Of course, they showed us his junk because somebody mentioned in a comment, like, be prepared for them to constantly point out his junk, and I was like, yeah, but you know, obviously they got to check to make sure, so this is the first time we've seen that. But yeah, but we're about to get a bite to eat because we have been at the doctor's office for like 2 hours now. But other than that, anything you want to add?
No, it's just like I said, it's just so cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
First real look at him.
Yeah, it was. All right.
But not the last.
I love you. It won't be the last from you either.
Oh, no.
3 weeks later.
Help me, dog. Damn it, dog.
We got a 3D ultrasound today.
We did. We got a 3D ultrasound today. It was not a medical type of thing. It was not medically needed. And we did get some 3D pictures. Our son is apparently very shy. And has his hands over his face. He did literally for the big scan as well. Apparently had hands over face. And
he didn't like paparazzi.
Yeah, no flash photography up in here. And our other son is just as needy. Regardless, it was really cool. It always gets me whenever the baby's moving and I can see it. Seeing his little heartbeat and his little bump gets me, and seeing his little limbs will get me. And we definitely got to see his little face. Pretty sure he has Henry's nose. We both have semi-full lips, so they got a shot of his lips as well, but...
Hey, snap back to reality, back to present day.
And some other stuff that happened during second trimester was I finally popped, as they say. Some people say, like, when you pop, it's like at the end of pregnancy. To me, a pop or a woman popping when she's pregnant means you can finally tell that she's pregnant. And I've always carried a lot of weight in my belly and my tummy. And so I kind of sometimes worried that maybe people wouldn't realize I was pregnant, or I don't know. And I have definitely been asked prior to even being pregnant, are you pregnant, based on the shirts I've been wearing and things like that. Yeah. It's interesting how people like feel comfortable commenting about your body if they think you're pregnant. Or if you are pregnant, even if you are, people just feel like they can comment about your body, and it's, even if it's not negative, I do not enjoy it. Regardless, that is a side tangent, perhaps for another day. I was worried, but around 25 weeks or so, I would say I popped. I really noticed it in the yoga video I posted whenever I was in my workout onesie. I was like, oh, there's the belly. I did get some maternity shirts, so if you're ever in a situation where you're like, I'm tired of being in the questionable phase of pregnancy or fat, like, get some maternity shirts, because it will show you better that it'll be more obvious that you're pregnant. You dig? You dig. But also, I am taking like this expecting class for other women who are pregnant, and we talk about all kinds of things in there. But we're all around the same amount of weeks. Like, somebody's, I think, a week ahead of me. But other than that, we're all about the same amount of weeks right now. And they all popped at the same time, too. So I guess maybe around 25 weeks is when you can expect a pop if you're pregnant, going to be pregnant, or just curious. Another fun thing that happened was that I had my baby shower during my second trimester. I don't have any footage, but I did post some pictures onto my Instagram. Shout out to my Instagram if you guys want to check it out. But I did post some pictures. A good friend of mine threw it for me. It was Harry Potter themed. And there were some really good cookies there. God, I miss those cookies. Regardless, though, that was like almost like friends in my side of the family. Henry's side of the family will host one too. And, but that was, you know, that's an exciting time and that's a lot of fun. I don't do well being the center of attention. I know that's shocking because I have a YouTube channel, but I don't do well. But I will say when I walked in there, I felt like a little like kind of thing. I was just very touched, and it was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed it. Got a lot of gifts and everything. And in addition to that, I also got Amazon freebies for registering with Amazon. It was mostly advertisements and things, but I did manage to film it to like show you guys. And welcome to whatever check-in this is. So for funsies, I blacked out my address. I got a baby registry box from Amazon. Just another moment to like thank whoever. I have had some subscribers send me some things, and I will never not be humbled by that strangers are invested in me, and I really appreciate it. Henry's very appreciative of it.
It's pretty cool. It's wild to me.
It means a lot to me, and I can't think about it too long, so hang on. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Here, you filthy animals. Take that box.
Yeah, they'll be playing with that in about 2 minutes.
Alright, so the first thing we got is a thing to recommend to sell, transforming my placenta into pills.
Oh my god. Personalized placenta encapsulation kit and pill set. All inclusive. Sure. More Pampers? Or free diapers with Pampers Club.
Pampers Club.
Yeah, that might be something we use. And the Huggies. We have the competing Huggies now.
Oh my god.
The Pampers Huggies gang war going on.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that.
Okay.
Oh, then some HelloFresh. You know, that makes sense.
Man, they are like cockroaches. They are everywhere. But if y'all want to like sponsor us,
no.
I'm listening.
No.
Our DMs are open.
Oh my god. Factor.
Oh, Factory. Another gang war, HelloFresh Factor.
That is the gang war.
It's on site probably with them.
Okay, and then some free palm oil and massage lotion for stretch marks. My mother swears. Yeah. My mother swears by this stuff. I think it's an old wives' tale, and
my mom swore by baby oil.
Baby oil for stretch marks?
She said she used baby oil on her, and it softened up her skin and kind of lessened the stretch marks.
My mom swears by cocoa butter. So, yeah. But I'm not a cocoa butter bitch or anything. I don't like lotion.
No.
Oh, nursing pad and breast milk storage samples inside. Okay. And then I think this is nipple cream. No, it's not for nipples at all. It's a smooth over face and neck. And then I knew about this. It's like this gender neutral onesie.
Okay. Onesie.
Yeah. It's from Carter's, which is nice.
Swaddle.
Yeah,
Okay.
newborn muslin swaddle. I'm very intimidated by these. Apparently they'll show you at the hospital.
A little Huggy onesie.
A Huggies onesie. We got more branding. Some Aquaphor.
Some more lotion.
It says for baby, actually. So, to hydrate baby. So, apply to baby, not to mom.
I'm gonna take a look.
Yeah.
I got you.
And then a Dr. Brown's anti-colic bottle. So, that's cool.
There you go.
See, I told you it wasn't a pacifier. Oh, there's a pacifier inside of it.
Yeah.
And then a bottle, Ma'am, I guess is the brand.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I don't even know if I'm going to put this in a video or not, but I just thought
Yeah, no.
I'd rather have the footage. All right, open wide. No.
What?
I like how you were going to open.
I was about to ask what you're doing.
All right, well,
Anything else?
no, that's it. That's
Okay,
it.
cool.
I mean, I say that's it. That's actually a lot.
I was gonna say, it's a lot of freebies.
I want to say I looked up what Amazon gives you for free, and I did not know it would be this much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they got dude's got a space program. He can spare some newborn freebies.
He's talking about Elon Musk, or?
No, Jeff Bezos also has a space program.
All right, well, millionaires. But, billionaires, that's true. That's not depressing. But all right. Well, cool beans.
Yeah,
I feel good. It's nice to get some freebies. We deserve it.
it's true. Love you.
Love you. All right. Yeah.
What'd you get by 6 minutes, 8 minutes?
7.
That's not terrible.
So with that out of the way, the last thing I wanted to talk about was symptoms. Other symptoms that I had that weren't just like the fun movement things and stuff like that. It was, all sorts of other things. So I'm just going to go through this list. Although I had this in first trimester, it continued into second trimester, round ligament pain. I had no idea that that was a thing. I know people who have been pregnant are probably like, yes, Maddie, it's a thing. But I didn't know. I did not know it was a thing. Specifically just like, it feels like a muscle cramp. And I would feel it if I got up too quickly. And it was not my favorite. It's not my favorite. I did have acne now and then. Nothing too bad, but, hormones. I would have like mild aches, pains, cramps, things like that. My belly did finally start getting bigger, as people would expect, but also harder because pregnant bellies are a little harder. I will say, especially early on, I was more emotional, I would say. Not like I'm like crying at cat food commercials, but like bad things that would happen seem to knock me down longer than they would prior to me being pregnant. That's the best way I can describe it. I know one week I really just couldn't make a video and I ended up making a video talking about it. I don't know if I'm going to have that video still up. I may private it because it was pretty personal, but I was just having trouble. I can't think about it. I'm going to get emotional again, but I could feel it more. I could feel my feelings more. Headaches and allergies probably go hand in hand, but my God, my allergies were horrendous for a couple of weeks there. And I did have a couple of nosebleeds, nothing major, but enough to where I'd blow my nose and be like, oh, that's blood. And not just like a little blood, but like nosebleed blood. I had swollen lymph nodes, and I did ask them at the doctor about it, and they said it was fine, and it's normal, and it's okay, and they weren't concerned, and they did go down. I did have experiences spotting after working out, and I found out I have a posterior placenta, and apparently that's not known for spotting, and it wasn't bad. It was very fleeting. It wasn't accompanied by cramps. Doctors weren't worried about it, but I worry, okay? I worry. Feeling gassy and bloated. I feel like a lot of these were first trimester symptoms too. Definitely having to pee in the night, the typical stuff. Chapped lips, which my lips are currently chapped. Apparently that's a thing too. I have chapstick at my desk and I put it on all day, every day, and it just, it doesn't help. I talked about this in my yoga video, but sciatica or lower back pain, that has really, just stretching and doing things have helped, but sometimes it does hurt, it just in general, and it's nothing much I can do about it. I have been going for more little walks throughout the day to help with my blood sugar, and that kind of helps a little bit too, so if you have that, those are some things, stretching and going on walks. The second to last one is really weird, and I almost feel a little too weird sharing it, but apparently it's a thing. skin tags in my belly button. I'm pretty sure there's 2 in there. Now, my belly has not popped. It has not become an outie, yet. It's still an innie. And one day, I was cleaning my belly button in the bathtub. It's the weirdest story I've ever told. And I felt something in there, and I thought it was maybe some dirt. And I kept messing with it. And I finally, took a picture that was clear enough and realized it was a damn skin tag. And then some amount of weeks later, there was another one. Apparently, this is a thing when you're pregnant. I'll tell you this, when my belly button becomes an outie, I'm going to go see about getting them removed because gross. Okay. Regardless. And the last and final symptom, I kind of talked earlier about feeling like I'm feeling things deeper currently. And now and then, I'll feel like I'm on the verge of tears over something little and small, but I guess maybe because my sister, when she was pregnant, she had such she had the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. So maybe that's what I was just expecting, but it hasn't been like that. But, one of the things, and I don't know how to explain this without it sounding a certain way, is that second trimester, me and Henry really prioritized our relationship. And that makes it sound like we weren't prioritizing it before, but we totally were. But we were doing things together, enjoying this time before we have the baby. And I don't know. I feel just deeper and more in love with Henry than ever before. And I did not know that was possible. Yeah. It's really all I have to say. Honestly, also just seeing him, try to take care of me and get me things and try to make my life easier. But not just that, but spending time together, going on date nights, stuff like that. I don't know that that's necessarily a symptom, but I guess feeling deeper has been a symptom, quote unquote. In fact, we did celebrate Mother's Day, which I think technically fell into 3rd trimester, but it was kind of on the cusp, so we'll count it. And Henry got me a float, a sensory deprivation float, which I have done on the channel before, and I will vlog doing it again, as well as a massage.
I think it's obvious which one we chose. Massage.
And so I'm looking forward to doing all that, but he got me a card and a very cheesy mug, and here's the thing. I have never been a live, laugh, love kind of person. I am not a cheesy quote kind of person. Cheesy stuff, I don't like it. But, your girl's hormonal. And so I cried pretty, not sobbing crying, but it was not a stoic few tears. But I cried at the gifts, and he wrote me a lovely card, and I cried then too. So, yeah. So, I guess I am emotional, is I guess what I'm saying. It just isn't in the way that I expected. And then last but not least, not a symptom at all, but we took some maternity pictures. A good friend of mine took them, but she had taken some pictures of us. They came out really well. I really enjoyed them. And this is the moment where I tell you guys, you should go check out my Instagram because I'm going to put them on there. I might flash up 1 or 2 just as a teaser, but go check out my Instagram and check out my pictures. I don't post on there very often. I don't know why. I'm trying to get people to go follow me because I don't do anything with it, but I don't know, if you want to see some things every now and then, I'll post some stuff. All right, on that very plugging note, that is all I've got. Don't forget to leave a comment about what you might be interested in next week's video for. I have a feeling freezer meals are going to be boring and nobody's going to care. The fat acceptance thing may be too niche. Maybe I should come up with a 3rd option. I'm not sure. But my next baby shower with Henry's family, my other baby shower is next weekend. And then I have other plans, so I don't like skipping weeks. I want to get you guys out a video. I'm sorry for prattling on. I'm sorry this was a sit-down video, not that long from the last one, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, do the usual. Like, comment, subscribe, because the YouTube wizards love that stuff for the growth of my channel. If you have a uterus and have experienced pregnancy, tell me about a weird pregnancy symptom you had. But other than that, I will talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Bye. I cut myself off there, but bye.